to the Cave of Knowledge podcast. Join us for transformational insight, clarity, and magic as we discuss life's biggest questions, unmentionables, and cosmic secrets. Our mission is to ensure divine knowledge and hidden cosmic secrets become exposed to all. As you know, the world is changing, so we are here to provide you with insight on how to lead the new age into glory. Now is the time for us all to open our hearts and expand our minds to the sacred wisdom and gifts the universe has in store for each and every one of us. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing very well. It's great to be back as always. I've been very eager to share this episode with you guys. Most importantly, to bring Mike Seniff on here and interview him because of all of the incredible messages that he has to share. He is definitely one of those individuals who absolutely walks the talk. He definitely has embodied all of his messages, and it's very obvious. I'm really interested in only really bringing people on that really have taken the time to figure out sort of their unique placement in all of this incredible experience that we have at this School of Earth, but most importantly, individuals that are willing to integrate the messages that they receive and really embody the spiritual work. Our next guest who we have coming down the pipeline, her name is Tabitha Jester. I'm really excited. She was actually introduced to me by Rain Hummingbird. She is going to be really fun to have on because she's an expert on sensuality. Think about how many times you sit down to eat a meal without really enjoying that meal. It's like so many of us, we even stand when we're eating. It's kind of ridiculous, or maybe we'll sit down and we'll eat a meal in front of the television. So, when it comes to swooning, when it comes to being a primal pleasure activator, it's not always just about sex. We're made to think that ecstasy is bad, that ecstasy is something that should be avoided or is inappropriate. So Tabitha really kind of hits into the nitty-gritty of what are the limiting beliefs behind ecstasy and what are the things that really hold us back from allowing ourselves to find pleasure, feel fulfilled within our experiences. So I'm really excited to bring her on. Keep your eye out for that. Also, make sure you guys are subscribing to our podcast so that way you don't miss an episode. And if you really resonate with this podcast, please take the time to go ahead and write us a review, specifically on Apple Podcast platform. If you take the time to give us a review, it'll create more exposure so more individuals can find us. Our guest today, we are interviewing Mike Seniff. Like I said, you can find him on Instagram at Third Eye Essence. The Healing Garden is the name of his book. It is a guide to the way, awakening the light within and making two as one. And of course, he's talking about, the masculine, feminine energy there. So check out his store. It's called Third Eye Essence on Etsy. And that's where you can find his brand new book that he just launched. All of his stuff, like I said, is accessible. What I mean by that is it's all like $15 or less. Okay. So he might have some stuff on there that's like $20-$25 or this and that. But for the majority of everything that he sells at his store, it's definitely affordable. And it's all extremely high quality. He's super fast at shipping. I mean, I get his stuff all the time just because I love what he does and I like to support him and his message. Of course, he does life coaching for free. You can contact him anytime and I'll put all of his information in the show notes. But without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump into this critical interview because a lot of the messages and topics we discuss in this episode are things that are so deep that really need to be brought to the surface. I hope you guys enjoy. I really like your story and I really like what you're about. If you don't mind just kind of giving yourself a little brief summary to the audience on, who you are and how you got here and all this jazz.
I was born in Northern California in 1977. I'd say middle, lower class, kind of grew up a little poor. So in areas where I grew up, lots of gangs, drugs. We're looking like Oakland Bay Area, Stockton, Tracy areas in California. Grew up seeing spirits and shadows, very very telepathic. Went through high school, did all my sports and such. Had a letter to play football, decided to go to the Marines instead. And my first Marines, I learned a lot about life through war, unfortunately, and fortunately. And as I moved forward, kind of realized that wasn't exactly what I wanted. Started experiencing awakening even during that time, just foreseeing what I was seeing. You know, you can learn a lot of different things when you're in those environments. Experienced a couple, I guess you'd say, near-death experiences, or getting in car accidents and getting shot and stabbed, and all sorts of multiple near-death experiences that were very led to more of a supernatural instance. Left California with the first wife and battling demons and all sorts of things, started businesses, but was a youth minister, a gang minister. I always had these ties to spiritualness and was always seeking for more. Was successful in the corporate world, multiple Fortune 500 companies, and just kept walking away from them all. Lost a bunch of houses in a housing market crash in 2007, lost that marriage, lost everything, basically became homeless for a moment and restarted everything back up, changed all my beliefs, looked all the way completely back in myself, met another person, ended up being my son's mom. And then that ended in a reconciled differences because I'm the type of person that I'm very honest with people. I love people, but I'm always really honest. I can't play the fake game for too long. Hypocrisy is very hard for me. So I can't just put a smile on and fake it. I've never really been that type of person to do that. Left that, got the divorce, and I came to Arizona in 2016, just kind of make this brief. And there's something about Arizona for me. We want to talk about energy. There's a lot of ley lines, and you feel closer to the sun here. So since 2016 has been another real deeper awakening for me. It's where I finally shifted out of all corporate things. All I do now is my Blessed Healing business with the jewelry. And I do one-on-one sessions where I help speak with people and heal people worldwide. And I don't charge for that. I just speak with people. And the more that I'm doing it, the stronger I'm getting with all my senses of being able to see and feel people and know their trauma. It's just led to deeper and deeper awakenings and truths within myself. The message has been consistent the past 3.5, 4 years that all is within you to continue to go deeper within. Last corporate job I had was literally at a garden center. I was like a third-party agent for Lowe's, and I worked for a different company and worked in all their garden. And a lot of knowledge and wisdom and esoteric information was just coming to me nonstop. I'd get to work at like 3 a.m. and I would leave by 9, 10 o'clock while everyone was showing up. So I had a lot of time in just this garden by myself, and birds were flying around. I had scarabs that were landing on me. It was magical. And I was like, I'm going to write a book. I was told, The Healing Garden. So that finally has come to pass and is going to be manifesting itself at the end of this month. Things are just really coming to pass. I'm really finding more of the truth within, and I'm bringing it without. And the reflection's beautiful. And I really take the stance where anything that you seek, you will find. Everywhere you look for God, you'll find God. So all I look for is God now. So at you, and you see the reflection in my eyes is you and is God. And that's my main purpose right now. It's just continue to show people God within themselves. So that's where I'm at.
I love it. It's awesome. And it sounds like 2016, like you just committed a full integration and doing the actual spiritual work and embodiment. And that's kind of where I am now. And I'm excited now to see where I'm going to be in a few years. You never know.
I really just felt like I started allowing, like I was running from myself for so long. And I did that bio. It was really short. I got out of the Marines. I became a rave DJ. I was on the radio, almost signed with Interscope, and it's been changing. I've been tattooing for the past 15 years. So, I mean, like you were saying, I've jumped from one thing to the next, and I've been good at all of them, but I've been just kind of running from who I really, really in the core am. And when I came here and I finally shifted and realized, like, I have these spiritual gifts. I mean, I'll work somewhere, I'll be in a store and people come to me, I feel like I'm supposed to talk to you. This has been my whole life. So now it's kind of like, I'm just allowing it. I allow people to be themselves. I allow myself to be filled with spirit. I'm allowing and surrendering to be who I'm supposed to be. And now it's just like you said, it's the full embodiment. Once you fully embody it and you allow it to happen, I'm able to pour in others as I'm poured onto. And it's a beautiful feeling. So
Absolutely. And one of the main reasons, of course, that I did want to bring you on, other than just connecting overall, was my curiosity for your book. I mean, I know I've been following you for at least a year now. If I feel like more than a year, quite frankly, like
I do. I feel like it's been longer for some reason, but yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your book and what we can expect from the Healing Garden.
The only way I can describe it is being kind of a cross between the Tao, Lost Gospels of Thomas, and it's very spiritual. It has a feeling of Buddhism and Taoism, but also you feel some religious aspects from like Lost Gospels of Thomas. What I would consider true Christ consciousness teachings, true Buddha nature teachings, you feel that in there. To me, it unwinds your mind. A lot of people's minds really like a spaghetti mess if you're doing electrical work. It's just everywhere and rewired improperly and crossed and twisted. This, when you read it, kind of pulls everything up and it releases it back down. It's short, powerful lines. It's not overthought. And that's why you could tell a lot of it's from spirit, because flesh mind overthinks and the spiritual mind comes from the heart space. And that's where I believe God's source is within our hearts. So it's more profound and simple and elegant, and less is more. I think it'll hit people and they'll feel it and it'll change afterwards. It provides a contemplative reflection when you step back from it. I noticed every time I would revise it, I would go, wow, it kind of rocked me for a little bit afterwards. So, and I read all the time. I read Sadhguru, Yogananda. I'm always reading stuff too. To be able to read your own stuff and not see it as your own, but still be touched by it is, for me, was like an indicator I knew that it was right. So the lady that edited it, she's really cool. She's going to edit my second book. She's like, it's changing my life. This is crazy. But they had a hard time understanding it because they said it was very archaic. So that's why the revisions were taking a while, because they wanted to change some things. And I'm like, no, I just didn't want to change too much, because when we try to translate it into a lot of modern terms, the English language is cursed. So they want to translate it into some modern terms, and it just deflated it. And I could see it. So I didn't change too much, except for some maybe punctuation and things like that made a little more sense. But everything has been a gift. When I reread it and go through it and revise it myself, it's brought me to tears. And I've just been very thankful, to be honest with you. So can't ask for any more than really.
I have a lot of different books that I really like that are almost like you can read them intuitively, where you open to a random page and you can just read the message, and then that can be the message that you embody it for that day. Is it similar to that, or?
Yeah. It's done through just verses, no beginning or end. I mean, there's the intro that introduces who I am, and there's a conclusion and, contact info, but the main body, you can just open up. I was doing videos to promote it for a while where I just flipped the screen that I was editing the book and it'd just be spinning, and all of a sudden I'd stop it and I'd just point out one thing. And then that was just so profound and spoke right to the moment. So that's what I love. I've read the Torah, the Quran, I've read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Bible. I read all that stuff still. I believe spiritual and religious, they're all on the same scale. They're just different levels of polarization, the Kabbalah, all of that. What I love about this is it's like that, because I'll take the Bible or anything else and I'll just point to it and it speaks to me. So yeah, this is definitely like that. I believe people will find that when they're having a tough day and point to something, and that will speak to them. I definitely feel that. I really do.
I absolutely love this philosophy that you share when you talk about twin flames, and how the twin flames, it's not like you meeting your match. There's so much online about, oh, my soulmate. I just want to connect to my soulmate. And it's kind of sad because it feeds into the societal indoctrination that love is only romantic versus understanding really what love is. It's like limiting it in itself. And all these people, they get caught up in this whole, oh, I want to go get a tarot reading, or I want to go speak to a psychic so that way they can tell me what my husband is going to look like, or my future wife, or my future partner, and who I'm destined to be with and die with, and all this stuff. So can you hit on that a little bit for us?
Yeah. I mean, I've been researching and studying for a long time, like the past 20 years. And my belief on this is my whole conglomeration of my spiritual walk. This has been the topic that I was getting death threats on TikTok, like a lot of death threats. And I had some on Instagram. I had people flipping out on me because of this one. So I knew that I was there. I knew I was hitting the nail on the head, because people don't get like that. I understand the psychology. I don't defend my beliefs because I know. what you're seeing, this paradigm and a lot of New Age, they can talk about any other religions, but if you talk about theirs, they flip out. I believe there's a lot of dogma and there's truth and lies within all things, just to kind of set the stage. There is truth and lies, but the twin flame is a dogmatic externalization of a truth that has been inverted. And people can trace it back down. Lots of people fight and argue with me. Probably the hottest topic. There's going to be people that watch this that flip out too when they hear it, guaranteed. And I wish people could understand that they'll take a stance of everything within and internally, but then they get to this one thing, the twin flame, and then they want to externalize it. And this is where, when you understand all these different scriptures, really lead people to understanding that when we look at a masculine and feminine energies, and this is in the book too, it's the very last chapter is making two as one. It's very parabolic because I didn't want to set people on fire. I want them to still read, but it's very parabolic and it's there. So making two as one, that's been in many scriptures, all different religions and spiritual. What making two as one is masculine and feminine energies of grand divine, great spirit and source. It's an energy. It's not man or woman. Many, many women I heal all the time are more masculine than men right now. So a lot of masculine energy. So I believe that the twin flame is making your masculine and feminine energies of great spirit balanced. You're making the two as one, as your original source of God. The twin within, that's finding yourself within. It's finding God within you. So when you look for God, everywhere you look is God. When you find it within, then you see it without. So what's sad is people are charging people $19.95 to say, I'll find on a map where your twin flame is. You can't be complete and whole until I find my twin flame. That's a complete externalization. And really, it's kind of disturbing, to be quite honest. And the people that really flip on me about this, they get really angry. Now, do I believe people are very closely matched? Maybe someone may be a soulmate to you and they really help you. Yes, I believe that. But we each have God within us. So when you meet self-realized people, siddhis, yogi, guru masters, really divine priests and ministers, they have found God within themselves. They love everybody, but they don't need anyone because they've already found God within themselves. So now they're complete. They have found their twin within. They have made their masculine and feminine energy inside of them completely balanced. That's why Prime Divine Source is neither man nor woman. It's all things. And that's energy within us, I believe, as well. So yeah, I believe the twin is within. So I love that you bring it up, but I stepped away from talking a moment because, I received so many death threats. Instagram won't really act on it, but TikTok was actually kicking people off. And I'm thinking, you're so enlightened and you're with your twin flame, but you want to kill me. Obviously, if you're upset that someone has a different belief than you, then you're not too strongly rooted in that belief. So.
Yeah. First and foremost, my intention for this podcast is to make people think, right? And to think about things differently and to think about things like not to tell people how to think, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully give them information that's going to create some type of catalyst, like to empower them to think for themselves and to think differently. But, I'm just such a huge advocate, especially from being a business owner. I'm such a huge advocate of ownership. And I look at everything that we're experiencing and everything that we're going through as it's an opportunity for us to recreate the systems. It's an opportunity for us to be the leaders. It's an opportunity for us to rise up and create the world we want. And that's what all of this is about, is taking ownership and actually being the one to create the action. It's like the whole twin flame thing where, people are looking for external validation and confirmation that they have a special someone. It's really just a direct reflection of our innate nature and that we don't want to be alone. It's like the reason why we come here with guides, even though we don't know and we can't see them, we come here with them because we don't like to be alone. And that's just a common, that's just like a human thing. And, once you go through the process and then you start to really love to be alone, like me, I love to be alone, but, it takes time to get there. I just wanted to say, it reminds me of a lot of the culture that is obsessed with the idea that Jesus Christ is coming back.
I want you to speak on this, but I definitely have some input on that too.
Well, we might receive some death threats, who knows, but I'm not afraid of it. It's just the way it is. But yeah. Obviously it's Christ consciousness. It's not necessarily one person. It's not like one person is the answer, like we're all the answer and we all have to be the answer. When you say that to somebody that's like very Christian, it's like, and it's not that I'm not Christian or, I love all religions. I'm not like against anything. It's unfortunate that these people are buying the story that, God is external and Jesus Christ is externally going to come down here and going to fix everything. Yeah. It's just a new beginning. So hit on that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, a lot of construed. I've been speaking with people very passionately and one-on-one for some time. And I worked with Calvary Church and did gang ministry and youth ministry till I was asked to leave because they found out that I had actually been in a gang. Well, hence why I can work with kids that are in gangs. I noticed a lot of the people that flipped out on me about the twin flame are ones that transferred from being a Christian, brought that same type of dogmatic attraction to things like being the twin flame. So once again, they're just trading one dogma for another. For me, I love Christ. I've tapped into a lot of my past lives. I've walked with the scenes. I wasn't a scene. I was a Rosicrucian. So I've passed on what I believe were the true teachings. When we want to talk about the second coming of Christ, people have that so misconstrued. The second coming of Christ is the Christ in us. Christ is a position and the title that's obtained when you're in full alignment to the frequency of God. That's why sometimes it was Yeshua or Isu. Jesus is another distortion. The letter J wasn't even invented till 1600. So people are saying there's power in the name of Jesus. That name, that J wasn't even invented till 1600. That's a newer name. So Isu became Yeshua, became Jesus. People don't understand. The last gospel, Thomas, he was saying, don't worship me. Be like me, pick up your own cross and follow me. The Christ consciousness of the second coming is everyone awakening, the Christ awakening in you. So, and what other people don't understand is so many of these inverted scriptures of Christ speaking, you lie in wait for your own blood. See, I know scriptures very well. If you live by the sword, you die by it. I come not for peace, but when I come again, I come to bring a sword against those that speak against your brothers. So what people don't understand is the second coming of Christ is the Christ waking up in us. And for the ones when we leave and the ones that are left are going to bring the sword against themselves, that are ones that are actually judging other people. So the same ones that are telling you Jesus is going to burn you in hell, they're literally bringing death to themselves by their own actions. And Christ was trying to speak that. People have no clue. It's kind of sad to see, but it's part of this process and learning. People continuously want to externalize and then live in it, not be of it. How many different scriptures say that from different religions? It's crazy. But once again, there's truth and lies within all things. I have an ominous view when it comes to a lot of that. And even in the lie lays the truth, because there's a reason why that lie was even created in the first place. And what's really interesting about a lot of the spiritual trend right now, I've been awakened for some time. I love everyone. We're all on our own journey. I've known about Ram Dass and Leary and all these things a long time ago. 20 years ago, I was getting out of the Marine Corps, taking LSD and listening to Leary and Ram Dass. People now are just like, oh my gosh, this is cool. You just found out like I did. And I'm going, I love you, but no. So the externalizations continuously happening, I call being blinded by the light. We're coming out of the cave. Some of us have already came out of the cave a long time ago. When you first come out of the cave, the light burns your eyes. You don't know how to take light in. And all of a sudden you realize you've been lied to. So you're trying to grasp on the truth or whatever you think is. Right now, there's a lot of people that are just coming out of the cave. They're blinded by the light. It's a domino effect when you go polarized in any direction. Think about when you look at a scale of heat and cold, they're the same thing. If it gets too hot, it feels cold to the touch. If it gets too cold, you feel like you're being burned. So people want to come out and go, okay, all is within, except I can't be complete with God unless I find this one person. You automatically start to throw your domino effect into the other way. It's either all within or it's not. So you're still seeing people kind of play with this and going back and forth, but it's still the very triggered crowd that you see right now. People are triggered. They get angry. Unconditional love, they post, but then if you don't believe in what they believe in, then they're blocking you or deleting you. I love everybody, regardless of what they believe in or if they love me or not. Sure, we all may get triggered by people sometimes, but I think you're starting to see now a more deeper split and divide, which was already written. We already knew this was going to happen because people are really showing their true colors now. You could see there was a lot of talk of love and this great awakening, but now it's like people literally hate people because they don't believe in the same thing that they do. You'll see this polarization happen more as more continue to awaken. That's where we hear this wheat and the tares, this division. And it's part of what's happening for this change. To move forward, you have to take a step back sometime And what the biggest solution will be is when we take a step back, who's observing the observer? Who's really looking at themselves, and who's just mindlessly just doing all these things no matter what? So I think you're seeing that big group right now. Some people are moving forward, self-righteous. I don't care. My beliefs are right. I'm going to be triggered to tell everyone how it is. One up on comments. Run through society, just highly energetic. Only good vibes, nothing negative. That's toxic spirituality. Or who is taking a step back and going, wow, I don't care about how anyone else is acting. I'm going to observe myself. Why am I being upset? Why am I doing this? Why do I need other things? Oh, okay. Every within me, and I'm experiencing God within me, really becoming self-realized. And then that's the reflection. I've said for a long time, we can either be reflection, which is from true God's source within your heart and love and wisdom, or you can be projection, which is going to be projecting your shadow and your insecurities. We're literally fed by the archons of shadows. Whatever we project, hate and negativity, that's what the collective feeds off of. Everyone's so into this collective hive mind instead of thinking for themselves. But all you're seeing is a perpetuation of fear of just hysterical things like twin flames or having to pay to find God. I mean, Christ was kicking tables over for that. He wasn't like the super chill guy like people think. So, I mean,
it's definitely been really interesting to watch social media because even with the vaccines, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and I'm just going to go there, but it just makes me so sad for the spiritual community or people that are now starting to awaken who got the vaccine or received the vaccine, and the people that they're looking up to, these spiritual mentors or way showers, quote unquote, are literally telling them that they're tainted and their aura is tainted and they're no longer pure and they're not going to be pure and all of this kind of crap. And okay, well, why did you start this in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they started it with the intention of creating less harm, but now they're creating more harm.
This is the most legit interview. I really am proud of you because this is absolutely what needs to be spoken about. And people are trading dogma for dogma. Oh, we want to judge this religion, but I have the only word and say. I did a video yesterday and I got a bunch of backlash from it because I said, hey, big news alert. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And people got angry. People were hitting me up like, how dare you? So yeah, I'm right with you. It's fear perpetuates fanaticism in societies. So you're seeing a fanaticism now either way on that polarized scale. People are creating another way to be divided, vaccine, not vaccine. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Allow people to be themselves and you're allowed to be yourself. But I'm very proud of you. I love where you're at. I can see that you've been with other people that have guidance and wisdom. It shows and it reflects within you too. So
thank you. I appreciate that. It is what it is. And every time I see that online, I just think that person's afraid. Like that person, the spiritual mentor who's so concerned about fear and is constantly telling everybody to go into their heart is not even speaking from their heart right now. They're actually the one that's just showing their own fear online and they're revealing it to the public and it's going to spread like wildfire, right? So
fears to a fanatic and panic crowd. And that's what people are eating. I'm alone. Oh, 1995, find my twin flame. Of course, everything will be better when I find someone. Oh, hey, I will be an ascended being if I just don't get this vaccine. Then I will be better than this person. All these ways of separation are just shortcuts. They're easy outs not to go inward. Don't worry about me or what I believe or give a crap about what anyone else says. Why don't you worry about yourself? Period. So it's very interesting. We have a whole lot of followers that want to act like chiefs, but very, very few chiefs. And what's crazy is this environment. There's many times Spirit will come upon me and you need to speak this message. And I go, oh man, I know I don't want to do this one, So yeah, I really take time before I speak some messages, but I know too, when certain ones are going to have a lot of pushback. It's real. You're touching real points. I love it.
Yeah, you just helped me bring it back to where I wanted to go, which is really just releasing the attachment. So with everything that's going on and just the way that the planet's changing, and obviously with COVID, people don't want to go back to work. It's funny because they don't even realize it's just part of the awakening. They're no longer resonating with the things that they used to do for a living. It's interesting because I look at it like they just don't realize like a lot of people right now are going through an identity crisis overall. Like the mass like collective really is going through an identity crisis because all of a sudden this entire world that they were experiencing and that they were, you know, whether they were enslaved or they weren't enslaved. And I'm saying enslaved like I was enslaved, you know, like I was a slave of my business. I was a slave of my job and my career and my title and my identity and all of these things. And I worked for my identity. I didn't work for myself. I never asked myself what Whitney wanted. I didn't, you know, see if I was well rested enough. I was busy being busy. So what's happening is people are unaware that they're starting to receive gifts. So can you hit on that a little bit and like maybe give the audience a little bit of advice for anybody that's listening that might be going through this right now and how that just looks different for everybody?
Yeah, I work with a lot of people and I'm going to give the same to everyone here. First off, know right off the bat that you are the miracle, you are love. Quantumly, I want people to think about this. Put an image of your mind of a dog chasing its tail. When you're seeking your purpose, that's what you are. Whatever you're putting out in the universe of lack. So right now, there's a lot of misunderstanding. Like twin flame, for example, if I need to feel like I can't be complete unless I find someone else, you're giving all your power away. You're living in a world of lack. Universal law, you can't bend universal laws. Masters know that until you know the law. I know I get what I give. So stop giving the universe lack. Stop putting out to God, the great spirit, that you're in lack. Stop seeking your purpose and start living it. So many people are caught in trying to find out what they're supposed to do, that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And I know that's a hard concept for people because you're putting out that lack. I don't know what I'm going to do. Be still and know. Take a deep breath because a lot of people have been awakened. It's a beautiful thing, but it's just a portion of it. Awakening isn't enlightenment. Enlightenment isn't ascension. And ascension isn't transcending. They're all different steps of the process. Many people want to put the cart before the horse. So what I tell people, when you want to know your purpose, be still. Be still. Take a deep breath. Quit being busy being busy. Quit filling your life with other people and other things, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever, being on social media all day, feeling like you have to make a video every day because you have to let everyone know how you feel. People are not taking the time to find out what their purpose is because they don't know who they are. How can you know what you're supposed to do when you don't even know who you are? That's what we're seeing right now. You've seen all these people that are in motion and they're literally spun out. They have no clue what they're doing. I'm trying to talk to them and they're all over the place. How can you know your purpose when you don't even know who you are? That's when you have to take a step back. You got to breathe. You got to set back, take your shoes off, go step in the grass, set behind with your back against a tree, relax, breathe. Stop doing all these things that are just keeping you busy out of some sort of just routine, that 9 to 5 type thing. People can't get out of that. That's a survival mode. How can Mike know what Mike wants to be when Mike doesn't even know Mike? So when you're quiet, then you can start to really review your life. I tell people, make videos. Someone makes you upset, make a video. You don't ever have to show anyone. Make a video when you're angry. Someone cuts you off, pull over and make a video of it. Tell that person how you feel. Then go back and watch that video later that night. The more you start doing that, the more you'll start seeing yourself. Then it'll give you the opportunity to observe yourself. Observing the observer is the highest form of intelligence. If you can do it without any type of judgment, then you can really learn about who you are. That's why God's the shadow and the light. The stronger the light shines on you, the darker your shadow is. It's about who is going to look at that shadow and learn from it. That Bible or that book, even that I have, it can mean infinite things to infinite people. You only see the words and you live and die by that, then you'll live and die by that. If you can see the spirit in it and allow it to be absorbed and integrate with you, then that will set you free. A dog chasing his tail, they may be happy or they may be not. They're just keeping busy. They're not doing anything. There's just a hamster on a wheel. Stop the wheel, get off the wheel, be silent and know. That's when it starts to find out more about you. Once you get to that stage, then you can really start to learn more about what your passion is. And like I tell everyone, you can go to Himalayas, you go to India, speak to cities and gurus. They're all going to tell you the same thing overall. You want to find out the path to enlightenment and truly know who you are? Serve other people. Feed people. Stop feeding your own mouth and feed other people. Start serving other people to find out who you truly are. People will make you mad. They'll make you angry. Oh, I can't stand this person. And then you get in front of them. Infinite love and light and blessings to you. You're being fake. You're being fake. Look within yourself. Be honest with them. Oh, you make me angry. Everyone's in only good vibes only. in my heart, I'm so angry and mad right now. I hate this person because they don't believe in twin flames. They're only perpetuating more of that fakeness within our life. So when we can serve others, when we can be still and know, I am with you, I am presence, I have God in me, I am all things. You're quieting your mind. You're starting to really find out who you are. Then you serve other people. Through serving other people, you'll be shown what your purpose is. It'll be revealed to you naturally. Then I believe we get to those stages where we can get in motion. You can get in motion now. You know who you are. You're serving other people. You're finding your purpose. Now I have a vision. Now I can put momentum behind my purpose and my vision. That's why when you speak with people like myself, yourself, others, your show's doing well, my book's doing good, because my purpose has been revealed to me. I have a vision, and now I have momentum behind that. I have momentum, and not knowing what I'm doing perpetuates more momentum of not knowing what I'm doing. So I really feel like you see a lot of that in society right now. I'm blinded by the light. I have to tell everyone and regurgitate indoctrinated information. That's what my job is to do, is to tell everyone. I was telling everyone for the longest time, don't get on the Q train. Don't take sides in politics. People get momentum. They just want to repeat indoctrinated information, and it's just regurgitated, dogmatic. And they're only bringing more of to themselves what they're putting out into the universe, instead of being still and knowing, finding out who they are, allowing themselves to serve other people, truly serve. Go serve some people, go feed some homeless people, go help heal people, really serve people, and find out who you are. And then your purpose will come to you, and then your vision. Now you start to get the vision. You really know. And then that gets in momentum. Otherwise, I tell people all the time, they want to talk to me. They just want to complain or just tell me why they're right and I'm wrong. I just say, what is your purpose in life? What is your vision that's in momentum? I learned that from a Siddhi yoga master from India. I love it. That's why I say to everyone now, I just go, what is your purpose in life? What is your vision that's in momentum? And they start sending all these huge stories, they're rambling and nothing makes sense. I just praying hands. You have more work to find who you are. And that's all I say. Tell everyone and give them all the answers. They got to do it for themselves.
Yeah, I just loved everything you said. As I started to heal my inner wounds, and I guess you could say do this shadow work or whatever you want to call it, right? But when I would do that, I would actually record videos of myself bitching.
Yes.
And I would go back and I'd look at these videos and I'm like, dude, I didn't make any sense. So funny, because usually it's like writing, I need to write, but we all have our phone on us. It's so simple. And so I started doing that one thing, and it's incredible how it's been able to help me. That's just such a brilliant idea. I never even thought of actually telling anyone. It's like when you're doing something that you're unaware of, it's actually helping you.
Hey, I still use it to this day all the time. I don't like to react. I like to respond with love and wisdom. When I see there's a situation, when I see the same issues as a father or a mother would, I am going to address the children, because they all are dealing with things. I won't just try to pinpoint someone. I don't like to react out of emotion, because normally that's acting out of your insecurities because someone's frustrating you. I like to respond with kind love and, tell people, hey, I see this. This is my reflection mirror. It's crazy because Great Spirit of God is really, there's times in my life with certain people, I'm like hardcore mirror on almost like a weird quantum level, because I can get very telepathic with people, and I've learned to shut it on or off. And it's crazy sometimes when I'll walk in a store and be hearing everyone. But sometimes with certain people, I'm right there, and I'll show them when they try to chase. Because think about this. Quantum science states when you observe something, it changes. Rather than if you allow it to be, it will continue to act one way. As soon as you look at it, it acts a different way. Our mind, we're not the body, and we're not even a mind. So as soon as our flesh mind tries to observe a situation, not us, but the situation, it changes. So if I'm seeking my purpose, I'm perpetually chasing and spinning. And every time I look at it, it changes. Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and trying to expect a different result. You have people looking to complete themselves by finding an external source. They're just doing this. They're just doing this. So that's really my main purpose, is just to show people that all is within you. God, the universe, love, you are love. All of it's within you. Stop seeking. People misunderstand scriptures. Oh, it says if you seek, you will shall find. Yes, you will find whatever you're looking for, because your ego will take control. Whatever you're looking for, you will find. If I'm looking for pain, if I'm looking for anger, if I'm looking for a mate, sex, drugs, people will look and they'll find what they're looking for. Anywhere you look for God, you will find God. So stop seeking. I don't need to look when it's already within me. So that's been revealed to me as one of my main purposes, that my vision is in every avenue to show people that. I mean, I continue to make music. I continue to speak and heal people. I continue to write books. It does look like it's starting to move more to books. So we'll see, but whatever needs to be, I do believe people will find their purpose when they stop seek so much. So
I really appreciate everything that you've shared. We lose ourselves a lot in that process, and we lose ourselves a lot when we're constantly trying to please other people, and we're constantly trying to make amends or make room or make space for others versus making space for ourselves. So the way that the universe works and the way that timelines work, especially on a quantum level, is when you don't respond, you're able to actually put yourself in a position to jump into a higher timeline. Do you mind hitting on that a little bit about the whole, reacting and responding and how that can really benefit people overall?
You're right here with me, because I was thinking the same thing. So believe it or not, what I believe, people may be surprised, but what really goes into this, our attachments and our expectations take us either into the future of what we think and expect and are attached to, or we're stuck in the past. Quantumly, everything's happening all at the same time. Wanting, desiring, these things are lack. So right now we're moving into this time of change, of abundance, is what I keep having Spirit tell me. That's beautiful, right? That sounds amazing. Abundance of you, a reflection of you. So if I am an abundance of lack, then my life is full of lack. When I'm seeking, I get more seeking, and I'm dog chasing tail. When I'm wanting, then I will continue to want. I'm getting my want right back. When I'm thankful and I'm happy, I'm living in it and not of it. I'm here and I'm present, and I know all things are taken care of. I'm in that vibration and aligned with God to be able to be fully open from the top of my head down, like the Hopi Indians say, open the top of your head. Then I'm aligned. All my chakras, whatever terms we want to use, I'm open. Now I'm fully receiving now. And that is quantum. That is neither then or there or is and isn't. It is just now. It just is. That's where the magic happens. That's where the supernatural actually takes place, is when we're now, no expectations or attachments to anyone or anything, allowing myself to be filled and being thankful. Just being in that gratitude of knowing that everything that's happening is happening for the right reasons and is supposed to. It's magical. Then things start happening. It just starts happening. It should be the effortless effort. That's samadhi. The effortless effort. Being now present in the moment. That's where the true master works and ascends. Only means to rise above. Then you start to transcend when you really get the glimpses of samadhi, when you can live quantumly. I know I've been here many times, and I'm here right now, and there's other me's fractalizing all the time. I get people telling me all the time, oh my God, you've been in my dreams. I thought I saw you. Are you in Virginia? And no, I'm here in Arizona. Nothing's impossible. We're the only ones that limit ourselves. It's our mind that causes our suffering and limits ourselves. That's where the limited beliefs come from, because of these attachments. And I'm proud of you, because you dig real deep into it all and really uncover it. And it's our minds that really, truly create these limited beliefs and suffering for us. We can learn to be presently mindful in the moment, be still and know, then we can receive what our purpose is. And we will understand the quantum, because you step back from it and you realize it's all happening all the time, infinitely. And you really realize that it just, all these little meaningless things don't matter as much. And so much more is revealed to you. It's like time stops. I've experienced not only spiritually seeing a veil pull up and not have any time, the timelessness of spirit, but I've experienced that when I've been out doing my ceremonies, like where you can feel it. And people, it may rattle some people. I feel comfortable there. That's why when I come back, though, I mean, you can see me. I'm different, and I will be transforming ourselves through that. It changes our DNA and who we are. Everything's all happening at the same time. So when we realign with not being attached to it is when it comes to us. So I tell people all the time to make it simple. In high school, we love to chase the people we want to be with, right? When I was a young guy, I would chase around a girl. Oh, I like her. The more I chased her, the less she wanted to be with. As soon as I was like, you know what? I'm going to ignore her. I don't care. I'm awesome. All of a sudden, someone wants to be with me. You chase what you want, you're never going to get it. When you let go and know that you're good enough, then what's supposed to come to you will come to you. What's in store for you out there is way bigger and grander than you ever might have imagined. So stop imagining it and just allow it to come. My yoke is easy. let all that go and just be and watch how amazing it all is. There's miracles all around us. You get what you give. Focus on what you're focused on. I need. You're in lack. You receive more lack. I love. I know all that I have is what I'm supposed to have. You're going to get exactly what you're supposed to have is going to be right there. Just know you get what you give. So that's very strong in the universe. It's real.